This is the Shooters Roll, basketball media brand made by fans for the fans. I'm your co-host D-Swizzle, and on tonight's episode, we got full house, full deck of cards. Here we go. Here we go. Let's start with Mr. Heat himself. What's happening, Lloyd?
What's happening, D-Swizz? What's happening, boys? Good to have a full house for the first time, huh?
Yeah. Good to see you, mate. Good to see you, Coach. Also on the panel for tonight, we got my boy Jay. Jay, how's it going?
Hey, what's up, D-Swizzle? What's up, boys? What's going on?
What are you doing, mate? What are you doing, T?
Just happens.
Oh, that's all right.
You know?
I like that. Bring up the hate.
Start it early. Haters are haters. I am a hater.
Wow. Here we go. T, you need no introduction at all.
Yeah. Just shout out to Team Ice Cream. It's a hot day today, so I'm wearing a jersey the team we used to play for, a rec league championships,
Mate,
back in 10 years ago.
mate, that teal and hot pink, so sexy, so sexy.
Did you win that one, Trung?
Didn't you design that, D-Swizzle?
No, I can't take the credit for the design of it, but it predates the Miami Heat Vice City style, so
Definitely.
Ahead of the curve there.
There's two differences, but
What was the difference, Jay?
your team melted.
Hey, man.
Well,
Show! Come on, boys.
Two-time champion, but hey, we move on.
You won that
move
one,
on.
Trung. You won one, Trung. Did you win one?
1 over 10, man. But this podcast is not about my career.
Yeah. It's not. It's about mine. No, we're just joking. Well, it's about. Let's first and foremost. It's about Giannis's career because it was announced this week as the league's MVP. Jay, your thoughts on Giannis getting the MVP? Because I know you might have some fire about this.
Well, I feel the same way as LeBron does. I'm pissed off too. I wasn't happy when I saw the votes. Okay, according to according to Kia, first place votes. Giannis got 85 first place votes, 16 second place votes, and LeBron got 16 first place votes, and he got 84 second place votes. I mean, if that's not a landslide, I don't know what is. I mean, the LeBron hate is strong. I'm sorry, but it is. But look, to his credit, Giannis did accomplish a couple of things during the whole season. So he led the NBA in double doubles with 52. Yeah. He recorded 4 triple doubles. All right, fair enough. Posted 17 games with 30 points and 15 rebounds, 14 more than any other player. Grabbed 20 rebounds in game twice, and scored 50 points against Utah on November 25. So, okay, the double doubles, I give it to him. Like that's a lot. That's pretty good. So, but that's such a landslide to me. Like it just says like.
What? It doesn't sit well with you, does it?
No, it doesn't, because come on. I mean, you're telling me that LeBron pretty much did not do anything to influence them. I mean, dude, they came first in the West, man. Come on. I mean, to come first in the East is a cakewalk, but to come first in the West is, come on, man. Like that's something right there. So, and this is the second time he's won it. So he's back-to-back MVP, but I don't think he'll get the third, unfortunately. What are your thoughts, boys?
Yeah. Anyone want to chime in here?
Yeah, when LeBron won his MVP, he was in the East. Does that disvalue it?
Wow. Do I feel Judas coming on? But anyway, no, not at all. But what I'm saying is that if you see the votes, it's such a landslide. I mean, come on. I mean, first in the West, it's so hard to accomplish. But what LeBron did in the East, I mean, dude, the guy, their winning streak was like, what, 26, 27 games with the Heat? Dude, like, that's something, man. What's their win streak with Milwaukee? It's not even on record here, so let's not even talk about that. So,
isn't it being the incumbent, that is Giannis being the incumbent MVP, isn't it his to lose? I mean, he played a monster season, and it was a better statistical season than his first MVP season, which was last year. His points went up by nearly 2 points. So this season he averaged 29.5 points. His rebounds went up about 1 extra per game at 13.6 rebounds a game. His assists stayed about the same at 5.5. Last season, it was a little bit better at close to 6. And his steal rate and blocks rate were about on par at 1 and 1.5. So, you know, to have a better season than the former MVP season, wouldn't it be a great injustice if he didn't win the award this season?
But the voting is it's such a landslide. It just doesn't, I don't know, it just doesn't reflect everyone else. I mean,
Who's everyone else? Who's everyone else?
Well, that's the thing. When I look at the votes, it's only those two. I mean, no one else got a first place vote. Harden was after LeBron. He got nil. Doncic got none. Kawhi got, let's not talk about that. That's none. Davis got none. I mean, just nothing. The third best was a third place vote for Luka Doncic. Third place. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's just a landslide pretty much. But you know what I want to see though with this, with the voting for the MVP for the season, I want them to apply it where it should apply for the first and second round too, because I don't want to see you get MVP and then you get knocked out in the second round. Like, I don't know. That's just my personal opinion. I know it's two separate things, but it's sort of stepping onto the next plateau, which is the playoffs. And you know, for you to like appear in the season and disappear, pretty much second round knockout, then I don't know. It just doesn't sit well with me. Your thoughts?
That's fair, but it is a regular season award. It's, you know, you can have the best statistical season and just crash out. I mean, Westbrook's done it a couple of times.
Yeah,
he
Westbrook
had monsters. He had monster seasons. You know, and it's just a way the season works, and you know, it's the most valuable player, so it has to do with the individual carrying his team. And I mean, Giannis did lead, you know, his Bucks to the best record in the league at 56 wins. I was expecting, you know, for me, it wasn't, you know, how far LeBron was from the first place, you know, vote, but how close he was. That's my point of view. That I mean, could be wrong about that, but I just saw that Harden would be a bit closer to LeBron.
That's what I thought too. Yeah. But you know what? That's okay, Dex. He can have the MVP. We'll take the title, so that's fine.
Wow.
Hey, shout out to Giannis, right? He was my pick to win the MVP this year. There's a couple of things that Jay pointed out, right? Remember the year that Dirk Nowitzki won the MVP? They had the best record in the NBA, and then they got knocked out by the 8th seed, right? And that was a point where they could have changed the rules. Or a couple of things I want to see about the MVP award is they should look at points in the fourth quarter and points in clutch. Giannis got his points and stats like in 30 minutes of playing time every night. So a lot of nights those were against teams that were weak, and they were going to win those games regardless, with him or without him. And there were a lot of blowout games there. So I guess the stats were padded a little bit there. So definitely agree with RJ in terms of the stats. But like I said, I pretty much said that he was going to win this year based on his performance and just the hungriness he started the season with. Before the bubble, Milwaukee was on a run. So, Coach Lloyd, what do you think, man?
Yeah, I agree. Look, it probably could have been closer. Probably a few more votes could have gone to Harden. But the big one, if you had a most valuable teammate award, LeBron gets it by getting 10.5 assists per game. That's my big thing. It involves the whole group. I think Chris Webber said it the other day on the first game. They said, well, Giannis doesn't have a guy that gets 37 in the first game. Yeah, but he doesn't have Chris Middleton either. He's also got an all-star Giannis, so you can't really put that into effect. That comment sort of does make sense to me, because Giannis has got Middleton, who saved their butts a lot of the time. So you can't go and put Davis in that upper echelon if you're not going to put Middleton there. They're both all-stars. Both don't have titles, so there's no upper echelon for Davis ahead of Middleton. I mean, Davis is a better player, but you can't go and make a comment like that and say that he doesn't have Davis. Yeah, but he's got Chris Middleton. He's got Bledsoe. You know, he's got Kyle Korver. He's got a great shooter. So don't sort of pinnacle Davis if he hasn't won one yet. It's his first time in the Western Conference Finals. So I found that comment to be like concerning for me because he sort of just completely barred Chris Middleton, who is their second leading scorer and did average 22.4.
Yeah,
So
Coach.
I wouldn't put it.
But if you looked at, I guess, the standings of AD and Middleton, like AD is a top 5 talent, and then you got Middleton is probably a top 15, top 20 player. Would you agree?
Yeah, I agree. But you're completely barring having Eric Bledsoe and other guys on your team. I mean, they start Kentavious Caldwell-Pope at point guard in every game. Who's better, Bledsoe or Caldwell-Pope? Then you go to the roster. You got AD and LeBron in that starting lineup, and then you've got Bledsoe. You know, they've got guys there that can play basketball. Don't disconcern yourself with having Davis ahead of like Middleton and stuff. It's the MVP. I think it could have been closer, a lot closer, but. I mean, 10.5 assists per game, which means you create 20 plus points a game for other people in your team. That's a valuable player too. And to get 16 votes out of 101, come on, man, give me a break. It could have at least it could have been closer.
Well,
it could have been well close.
I have to give props to the King. He had a disappointing season last season, and he's really bounced back this season. Given the voting, how it turned out, he's the best player in the Lakers. A lot of people, you know, at the start of the season would have said, no, he'd cede to AD being the best player on the team, but he hasn't relinquished the crown and the best player tag on his team. So, yeah, props to the King for his longevity in his excellence. I'm just going to throw one out there now for all of you, given the topic at hand. Predictions for next season. Very early predictions. Any takers on a three-peat for Giannis?
No, he's not going to get the third. No.
Depends where he's going. If he's staying in Milwaukee and they're getting more shooters around him, it's a possibility. But we've seen in the past where there's vote fatigue.
Yep.
Vote fatigue. So you look at MJ and LeBron. Like those are two classic examples. They probably can win majority of the years they've been in the NBA. So.
Well, I'll throw one out there just to put fuel on the fire. I'm making a very, very not even in early season prediction, but still in the current season prediction. Luka Doncic will win MVP next season.
Wow! Wow! What a bold prediction! Wow! Okay.
So for him to win MVP, and how many wins do you think that Dallas should get?
Just going by the record, so the Mavs scored 43 wins this season, 32 losses. He'd have to get into 50 plus.
At least.
At least mid-50s. I think anything above mid-50s, shoe in, baby, shoe in.
I think he has a chance to win. But the West, they have to have a lot of wins because you get Golden State back from injury.
That's true.
And the West is going to be packed.
That's true. But I also like how the Mavs are on the way up as well. I think they can play better this coming season with more cohesion with the team, more reps for Doncic and Porzingis. But that's my early season take. Anyone want to throw one out there?
I'll throw one out there.
I'll go get Lloyd.
I'll throw one out. Durant at Brooklyn.
Wow.
After Achilles surgery.
Hey.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm gonna go Brooklyn because they've had such a crappy start to a franchise, getting away from New Jersey. I'm gonna go Durant when he comes back healthy because he's had all this time off. He's had almost 19 months or 20 months off. Be ready for him to maybe make a change instead of getting Finals MVPs behind Curry, let's for him to stand out.
Okay.
Wow.
Can he win MVP? But with
Lloyd
Curry?
Lloyd thinks that Kevin Durant will be the next Dominique, overcoming the Achilles injury. We'll see about that, Lloyd. We'll see about that.
That's a big call. Big call, Lloyd.
All right, let me put money on it first.
Well, this is a show making big calls. Jay, you got to be excited there.
I think you know what? I'm gonna put Anthony Davis as MVP for next season.
Oh, okay.
Where's he
Tough
playing?
one. Yeah.
That'd be with the Lakers, of course. Come on now.
But then it's going to be the argument because he has LeBron. So
I'll take him as MVP next season because I think he's still fresh. He's got a lot more to give, and he'll be valuable to the Lakers. He's already valuable now, but he'll be more valuable next season.
T,
if he can play more than 60 games, like you look at the history of AD, like he's not very durable.
So this season actually helped him. That's what you're saying? This shortened, suspended season.
He has, yeah. Like we watched the game, and we'll get into it, but
yeah,
every time there's contact, he looks like he's really hurt. You know, that's not a good sign.
Well, let's get into it now. Let's segue. Going from Davis, let's talk Western Conference Finals. Game 2 today. Davis hits a 3-pointer at the buzzer with 2.1 seconds on the clock when they inbound. Great win by the Lakers. The Nuggets showed some resilience after Game 1's shellacking. Thoughts on this, T?
Yep. So I was able to watch that game live. And I could see that at the beginning, the Joker was trying to avoid foul trouble. He was avoiding it so much, he wasn't playing defense. It's to a point where, like, why are you on the court? There has to be some sort of effort, right? But he avoided everyone. He listened to the coach saying that, don't get in foul trouble. He literally just got out of the way. And all the Lakers just had layups and just easy bank shots. That was the story for the first quarter. And then as we went along, we could see both superstars doing their jobs, both pairs of superstars doing their job. And then moving on to, I guess, the rest of the game, it was really close. The superstar stepped up again, the Joker. The Joker scored nine points in a row against the Lakers. And there was 6 lead changes in the last couple of minutes. And then led to AD's Mamba mentality 3-pointer in his eye, and he walked off.
Well, it was great finish. Like you mentioned, T, the superstars came. They've come to the fore, especially in this game. Joker had 30 points, 6 boards, 9 assists, 4 steals. So he's playing defense, man. He's getting some steals. And Murray had 25 points, 6 boards, 4 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks. So, from the Nuggets end, they are doing their best to try and keep up, and they kept this one really tight. But in the last pod I mentioned, I found what I noted as a concern was the Nuggets giving up leads, especially to good teams, and they got away with it in the past. Unfortunately, they've come to the West's best team in the Lakers. They gave up a 10-point lead at the half today, and they're continuing to give up leads and then having to come back. And this is a big concern. I mean, there's only so many comebacks you can make. They nearly pulled it off today. Nearly.
Yep. It was close game.
Close enough is not good enough. They're 2 down. They've got a big mountain to climb to proceed on to the next phase, which is the championship round.
Yeah, losing by 100, losing by 1 is a loss, right?
It's a loss.
Regardless of what happens.
It's a loss. Yeah, it's a loss.
It reminds me of the Bulls versus the Jazz, where they lost in one game by 56 points. And then the next night they came out and they actually won the game. So you take the loss and you take it and you come back to the next game. A couple more points I wanted to point out was the Lakers out rebounding the Nuggets 44-31. And you look at the centers for the Lakers, they're just fighting for a chance to play. They sat out versus the Rockets. You see Dwight Howard, aka Superman, jumping out of his blocks. Yeah, he took the joke out of the first game, and for this game, AD was on, so they just played AD. So the Lakers have the coaching experience and the coaching mind to actually adjust on the fly. This is the difference I see between the Lakers and other teams out there, I guess, on the West.
Did we make, like, honestly, how good and surprising, because I'm the biggest critic of, you know, the quote misfits unquote of who make up the Lakers, you know, bench. Howard played amazing in the first game. Now you've got, you know, their role players, you know, who I'm the first one to put my hand up and say, don't give him much credit, like Rondo.
Hey, playoff Rondo. I mentioned
Playoff
that a couple of weeks ago.
Playoff Rondo.
Playoff Rondo's a thing. Playoff Rondo's a thing. He's playing
It's a
out of his
Yeah,
skin.
all right.
He's playing out of his skin.
I'm waiting for the wheels to fall off, all right?
The big three. The big three. No one thought it'd be Rondo, but the big three is Rondo.
Wow. Yeah, look, props to the role players. And what I've really appreciated about them, not that I'm big fans of them, but their enthusiasm on the bench. They're all cheering. They're all one cohesive unit, one mentality to win, which has been my biggest take out of the Lakers team as a whole, leaving aside the superstars. Yeah. Any further thoughts on the Lake Show? They gonna steamroll through this? What's the?
That's RJ.
Yeah.
RJ's a Laker fan, so.
Yeah, I was watching the game live today, and
Yeah.
I got to admit, like, to Dex's point, like, they were, like, the Lakers had a lead as well. That's another, it's pretty much with every team. No one can really hold a lead consistently. I mean, they gave up that lead, and eventually Denver caught up. But I felt a bit frightened for LA in the fourth quarter, where there was like 4 or 5 minutes to go, and LeBron had 2 to 3 possessions where he turned it over. First by an airball 3, and then he slipped to give up a turnover pass. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'm like, here we go again. But luckily they found, you know, the right play to advance, and they found the rhythm. I mean, they were on fire from 3, but they just, for those couple of possessions in the fourth quarter, they were crucial, because you don't want Denver to go on a momentum run and pick up steam. So yeah, but I'm glad they won it. And they had a lot of turnovers today.
Yeah, they had 23.
Oh,
They had
man.
23.
They got lucky. Let me say that. They got lucky with that.
They have 13 turnovers
So
at the half, didn't they?
that's all I have to say about that one.
Yeah, they're giving up the ball. But same with Denver. Denver's awesome. Denver had 19 for the game, turnovers. They're not looking after the ball well. But I mean, this is where the caliber of the teams come to the fore, isn't it? This is where the defense comes through.
Mm-hmm.
This is where you know, those teams that have those defensive stoppers make the big plays. But where's Denver going to win this? I mean, Mike Malone at the start of this game just said no lineup changes, no tinkering. He just said we have to play better, and they did play better today. Can they take it up another gear to win Game 3? Is the question.
He did change the lineup. He put PJ Dozier in.
PJ Dozier, yeah.
Oh,
He did put him in. He did put
Yeah.
PJ Dozier in, and he put him in for a long period. I mean, like I'm not massive into the Nuggets, but now after the game, I'm a big Jokic fan because he seems to be a team guy. He one of the reporters asked him about PJ Dozier's 4 missed free throws and if that cost them, and he said no, because he took 2 charges. He goes, did you see that? And he played defense. He got 3 stops in a row personally, and then took 2 charges. He goes, so 4 missed free throws? He goes, I don't care. He goes, because he did the other things the other end. And that's sort of like, for me, like if I was coaching, I'd say, listen, that guy, Jokic, has now just put himself in that sort of upper echelon as a teammate, because he could have said, yeah, maybe free throws killed us, but he didn't. He put back on that he took 2 charges and made 3 stops in a row. And one of the stops was where RJ was saying that LeBron slipped over. He guarded him till he fell over and then threw that poor pass. So he sort of didn't do the wrong thing. So I can jump on the back of Jokic there. I like him as a person. But I think Denver for the next game and Mike Malone, they can't start horribly, and they can't get down 16. They can't get to 16 and then they start playing. It needs to be like get to quarter time, be up 2, but get to half time, be up 10. If they want it, if they really want, and then they play that they're behind, and then they keep pushing it. But I feel like they say that they're comeback kids. Well, they weren't today. They're not comeback kids.
They weren't, and they need more contributors. Like Millsap had a quiet game today. Just looking at the stats, my boy Michael Porter Jr.'s 2 good games in a row, but they need more. They need more. Yeah.
Well, if you look at Porter, did you look at Porter Jr. when he was on the bench in that last little bit in one of the timeouts? You know, they had Doja and all the guys, and he was sitting there like this. He was sitting there like that. I'm like, that is horrible body language. Horrible. You're not getting back in the game.
Trade deadline.
You were not getting back in the game, mate, if you're going to sit there. And he was sitting there in his chair, too deep like this. And I'm like, mate, you were not getting back in that game if you're going to sit like that. Go and get involved in the huddle. Don't put him in the Knicks. God, Swizz, come on, man.
I'll take it.
That's how desperate the Knicks are.
I'll take it. There we go. Any final thoughts on this series and where it's going?
Yeah, this was. Remember we talked about, I guess, in our first podcast about you really like Joker.
I do, and I still do.
I do. Yep.
I feel like if he doesn't look like a professional basketball player. His body type, like if he got fitter and stronger and more defined, then he could fight against all these centers. Like Howard wouldn't take advantage of him.
Yeah, but then he'd lose his finesse, man. His finesse is what makes him special. Special.
Let's be perfectly honest. Howard takes advantage of most people.
True.
Howard takes advantage of most people. I mean, if he was to bully someone and belt someone, he will do it. I mean, Jokic's just not a single out there.
Look, it's okay.
Yeah,
He's not. What is his name? Now I've lost my thought, man. Jeez.
What are you talking about, bro? It'll come back. It'll come back.
He's not Bruno Mars, bro. He doesn't need
First sign of our age, RJ.
It's not a grenade.
It is, man. It is.
I do have one last talking point on this series. In game 1, some criticisms were made about the lopsided referee calls in the game. Both you and both UT and you, Lloyd, have big involvement in refereeing. So one of the criticisms put to Murray at the time was the veterans having the veteran Lakers team having more chit chat with the referees trying to influence decisions. Any thoughts on this that development that happened on the first game?
Okay, I'll do that. So it depends how the players are approaching the referees. Like if the Laker players are coming up saying, "Oh look, sir, I want to ask this question," and talk properly, that's a relationship they might have had with them for years, right? So something that is a relationship with referees. Like if the Nuggets players they're younger, they haven't been in the league as long as the Lakers players, so maybe the relationship's not as strong, and then we don't know how they're talking to the referees. You see for yourself when you were young, the way you talk to referees was probably pretty short, like that's a foul, you don't know what you're doing. But as you get older, you usually you build a relationship with the referee if you want to, and then you show them respect, and they'll show you respect back. That's my take on that. In the first game, I saw that a lot of calls were going for the Lakers, but they were the correct calls because they in basketball is always gonna advantage the offensive player. So that's my take on it. Coach or referee, Coach Lloyd. Your thoughts?
Look, I'm okay with what you said. I mean, today was a little bit different. I think Nuggets shot a bucket load more free throws. At one stage, they were 24 for 32. I mean, they missed 8, but they still shot 32 foul shots. which is probably more than they shot in game one. I don't take on how you speak to a referee. I don't, because Phil Handy got a technical foul today for the Lakers bench. Phil Handy is the nicest bloke in the world. I've personally met him, and he's probably the nicest guy in the world. And he said that it was BS when he got that technical, because he pointed straight at him, and he had Dion Waiters and J.R. Smith standing next to him. He probably didn't say it. It was probably J.R. Smith. Phil Handy got the technical, and I don't think so, because he's probably the nicest guy in the world, and opposing to Jason Kidd or for the coach for Lakers,
Yep.
I don't like that they speak to them that often. I think Mike Malone speaks too much to them, and then he gets the basic ones. Like if someone continues to ask, what do you normally do? You negate them. You just say, well, I'm over listening to them.
I've got something to say to them, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure I always have something to say when I'm playing. I'm never wrong. But if you hear something if someone for so long, you sort of negate. Yeah, you just negate them, and that's what Mike Malone does. He argued the basic ones. Like there was one where Dwight Howard went to the basket, and Jokic put two hands out like this, and he pushed him straight in the chest, and he's standing there like doing this. What are you, Nick Nurse? You're gonna do the it's just don't argue the simple ones. But I think the Lakers get that. Lakers get the love, but I don't think the Nuggets need to worry about the referees. They need to worry about themselves, big time.
Yep. I think we go back to that thing where the boy they called Wolf. If you keep on telling me something that I already know and trying to say that I don't know what I'm doing, then eventually the voice is dead. So
yeah,
I agree with that.
Yeah. And that goes into the other series as well. Boston, Miami. That goes to that sort of the officiating thing goes to the other side as well.
Let's touch on the East now. Lloyd, what's the take on the Eastern Conference Finals?
Yeah, the East is going to go to 7.
Right.
The East is going. Yep, the East is going to go to 7. It's 2-1 at the minute. I mean, everyone saw that Bam got that big Bam block on the game 1, and then Butler just made himself available game 2, where a couple of steals that he probably shouldn't have got.
Oh, really?
That one steal that he got where he was almost out of bounds, flicks it behind himself, and then he gets back and gets the dunk.
That was beautiful.
That was amazing. I don't think many other players could have done that, or make the read out of bounds. Where there was one that Jaylen Brown dives to the basket, and they throw it over the top, and he sort of flicks it over, and then throws it. It's Jimmy Buckets. Yeah, Jimmy Buckets. He sort of does the things the intangible things. But he goes missing in quarter 1 to 3. But quarter 4, he seems to sort of turn on. I know they've got an equal opportunity offense, and I really like that. That's what I'm about when I coach. It's about involving everyone. But he can't go missing for quarters 1 to 3. And then the last game, he got benched in the 4th. You can't really do much if you're sitting on the bench, dude. If you've been, non-quality. So, yeah. I like that this series will probably go to 7. And it'll be really good for whoever's coming out of the East to go and play the Lakers.
Who are you tipping, Coach?
I like the Heat. But people like Goran Dragic need to keep scoring above 20.
So I'm the only one here that's
Celtics.
counting on the Celtics to get through. I take it. Yeah, I am, right?
Yeah, man.
What else is new, right? Yeah.
I thought you had the Knicks.
Oh, I do have the Knicks. They're right here, bro. They're in my heart, bro.
Yeah, look, I sort of think that like we were just touching on the officiating and stuff. before we go to the end of game 3, or sorry, game 2, where Boston had that big blow up in the change room. I really like the professionalism for Boston, because a lot of the media attention was just to ask a question of what it is, and they said, "No, nothing to say to you. That's in-house." Michael Porter Jr. for Denver threw the dirty laundry out there in the public, but everyone in Boston said, "No, we don't want a bar of it." The only thing for Boston that I didn't like was when Jason Tatum said that he needs the superstar calls. He needs the officiating to go his way because he's a superstar. Dude, you're in year 3. You're not going to get it. You're not like LeBron. You don't have 17 years of status. You have 3. That's 3 years of status, mate. You've got plenty of other time to get some officiating calls. Don't worry about the referees. You go and play the game that you need to play. You're not going to get it. You're not like Iguodala, who's had 14 years. You're not like Jay Crowder. You're not a vet. Yeah, you're not a vet yet, mate. Just go and play. And then you got a technical yesterday as well, because he was mouthing off about getting a superstar call that he didn't get down the other end. Dude, just don't worry about it. That technical doesn't really help you, because if you mouth off again, guess what happens? You're going to go and join the training staff in the back room in the bubble, and you're going to go and sit there the rest of the second half. Just keep your mouth quiet. When you get to be a vet, then you get the vet calls. Until then, mate, just keep playing hard, which he can do. But you don't hear Jaylen Brown whinging, complaining, do you?
Yeah, but it's Tatum. I'm a big Tatum fan.
I'm a massive Tatum fan. I'm not saying that, but I don't hear Jaylen Brown complaining and whinging and bitching and moaning about getting a foul call.
Yeah, but Jaylen Brown
is business.
Yeah, but Jaylen Brown's not Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum is a lot better player than Jaylen Brown. That's my call on that one. But and I made this call on the last podcast we did as well, that Jason Tatum's the best player in this series. So I think, look, I'm going to put myself out there. I think he should be getting their superstar calls. Because he is the best player out there.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I think. Look, yesterday, he had a great game, 25 points, 14 rebounds, 8 assists. Jaylen Brown played his best game in the playoffs. I'm just going to note that now. He did play his best game, but he's finally shown up. 26 points, 7 boards, 5 assists, 3 steals, and a block. But I do like, just coming back onto the nitty-gritty of this series, I do like the inclusion of Hayward into this team.
Yes.
It gives them a stabilizing dynamic. I think they're a lot more dangerous team playing that small ball with all 5 players, Smart, Tatum, Brown, Kemba, and Hayward, all being able to dribble, pass, and shoot. They're all triple threats in that regard, and I think this is where they're going to start winning now. So I back the Celtics to win this series based on their caliber of players. They'll need some contributions off the bench, and Wanamaker's doing his part. Tice is still the starter, but he's holding his own. So it's a very, very good series. I really like this Eastern Conference Final series. There's no clear cut winner. There's been close games, which has been great as a fan.
The big one you just said, you said a name in the starting 5, but no one puts him accountable. Kemba Walker. You need to turn up, Chief. You need to turn up, mate. Needs to turn up.
Yeah. Look,
the bubble's there for you, Chief. Just go and join it.
He's on his way. He got 21 points in the last game. He's on his way.
But how many of those are foul shots and how many of those are buckets?
Yeah. Look, Kemba will turn up. Kemba will turn up. He always has.
It's not Charlotte, mate. It's not Charlotte time.
Let's talk Heat personnel in that third game. Bam Adebayo had 27 points, 16 boards, 2 assists, 3 blocks. Man, the development on that guy, it's incredible, right?
Really good.
Unbelievable.
Totally incredible. And T's boy, Tyler Herro, great third game, 22 points, 4 assists. Had a monster first half. Just couldn't sustain it when the Celtics locked down on him.
Turned up the heat.
turned up to heat. But yeah, look, there's a great future there for both young teams, and they're both young teams as well. So this series is gonna, it wouldn't surprise me if it goes to 7, like you said, Coach. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the amount of players for the Heat that have got undrafted and just that sort of stuff is like Duncan Robinson played Division 3 in college and then went to Michigan, but he played Division 3 first.
Yeah.
And now he's come out and he's, I mean, what is it? 3+ games, he's hit 5 or more threes in a single game. He's probably going to be the guy that they look towards in the next one if they're going to be successful. I don't think he was as successful in Game 3, but if he gets going, he sort of reminds me of it's not in the echelon of Reggie Miller or Rip Hamilton, but he sort of moves off the ball really well to go and get a shot. He sprints to everything and he stops on a dime past the screen and just was able to pull up and shoot. That's really hard to do. For any of the kids out there that watch this stuff, that's one thing that if you ever, when I'm coaching, that's sort of something that I teach, where you go and set a pick, come off and be able to stop past the screener and be able to pull up. It is one of the hardest things to guard. Because if you go under, you're already late. If you go over, you're always late. It's really hard to be that kind of shooter, and that's what Robinson is. Herro is the same thing, but he just has a presence for the fourth quarter for that.
Well, look, with Duncan Robinson, I get visions of Klay Thompson, the off the ball movement that he's got, and almost like when he touches and shoots the ball, it's nearly automatic now. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, a season ago, who would have thought that we'd be talking about Duncan Robinson? Like, honestly.
Not at all.
Not at all, yeah.
Not at all.
He was playing Division 3 college.
Yeah.
Division 3 college. So.
Jay, thoughts on this series?
Oh, well, you know what? Believe it or not, Dex, I'll have to actually agree with you. I might have to go to 7.
What are you doing? You're flip-flopping to Boston. Oh, I
No.
need some friends.
No. I'm leaning towards Miami, but it may have to go to 7
Right.
because I can tell that the shift, the momentum now has sort of, the steamroll for the Miami has sort of stopped now. But I'm sure they'll pick it up next game because they're coached well anyway. You know what I mean? I mean, a little bump in the road is not going to hurt, but I'm sure Miami's going to come through. I mean, with Boston, to be honest, they're a bit unstable. And I have to admit, the last game, they got lucky. So watch out next game. If Miami gets the next game, they're going to be hard to stop because their momentum's already with them. That's what I think.
Well, it's a great series. Really looking forward to the winner of this series and us talking about it on the next episode. Let's go on to play a quick brick or swish game headed by our boy T.
Yep, you guys ready? You guys ready? So the game, to explain to everyone and yourselves, there's 4 of us. So 3 of you agree to talk about a topic. You say swish, we make a sound effect, swish, and then we talk about it. But if not, the bricks come and you miss the shot. All right, let's
the way
start.
you shoot.
We move forward.
We move forward.
All right. Let's start with a funny one, right? So LeBron James' son, Bronny James, was caught smoking a blunt, apparently, assuming. All right. So, brick or swish? D-Swizzle?
Oh, I don't know anything, but I'll talk about this. Swish, baby.
I'll swish it.
You swish it? Okay, cool. So yeah, so fans were seeing him. He was on Instagram. He was on Instagram and apparently was smoking a blunt.
Oh, he got caught. He got caught with a picture.
Ah, okay.
There's a video as well. There's a video too.
Is there? Oh,
So-
wow.
There's a video, man. I'll send you the
was it-
video after this. Yeah, it was a video.
Could it be a fake, or what do you guys think?
What is it? What is this? Criminal court. So that's not me. Dude, that is you. It's straight out him.
Maybe it was Shaggy. It wasn't him.
Has there been an official reply from the Bronny camp?
No.
Nah,
LeBron's
nah.
in the bubble. No, LeBron's in the bubble. He can't reply.
All right.
RJ, any comments for that one?
Look, I believe that one of the purest things in life and purest things that can help recover you is, believe it or not, God's plan. So you know what? If it helps his game, go for it.
Jake,
Hey,
Wow.
I'm serious.
shout out to
Hey,
Jake. God's plan.
but listen.
It's God's
Hey,
plan,
the-
not planned. Not planned. It's God's plan, not planned.
Yeah, God's plan. I'm serious.
Should we move on?
Just-
Should we move on?
Yeah. Just to clarify, this is where the disclaimer comes on at the bottom of the screen here. This basketball brand does not condone just
We don't
smoking or
know.
taking of illegal drugs. All right, this is where it comes in.
Every man to himself. We do not judge. Okay, let's move
No
on to the
judgment,
next
man.
one. Let's move to the next one. This is
Please.
another controversy. This is another controversy topic. So, a former NBA star, Ty Lawson.
Mm.
He's been playing in the China League. He was sacked today.
Swish.
He was sacked today. Okay. Do you want me to continue, RJ?
Hey, I want to know what's this about? Go.
All right.
Go. Sweet.
So he went on Instagram and he had some not nice things to say about Asian or Chinese ladies, which led him to be sacked by the team that he was playing for.
And by the CBA for life.
Banned.
Yes.
Yeah, banned for life.
Banned for
Banned
life.
for life.
You guys
The
want
boys
to
want
get
to
into
talk
it?
about. Yeah.
It
Switch,
sounds like
switch,
you want to
yeah,
get into
switch.
it.
Yeah.
Coach Lloyd, thoughts on this?
Swish.
Thoughts?
I'll just go break on this, believe it or not.
I completely agree with Ty Lawson. Like, we got, this goes back to Lou Williams wanting chicken wings. You know, Ty Lawson wants dumplings. Hello, Swish. Good on him. Hey, good on him. It's not God's plan. It's God's life, and it's God's service. God's service. It was Ty Lawson. Hey, you can't blame the man. He's human. He just put it out there. It's his opinion. It's his social media handle. He did what he had to do.
Can
and
I
what he
just
wanted to
inquire? What did he put out there?
He wasn't talking about going to a club like Lou Williams in LA.
Yeah.
He's talking about the female. Yes, sir. He's talking about going with Chinese women. He's saying the man's human. He likes what he likes.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
He likes what he likes. You can't really hate the man.
Yeah, you can't blame him, man. If he gets sick, he's got Asian fever. That's cool. He got yellow fever. That's cool, man. No problem, bro. Keep going.
I'll be
Absolutely
can I be
no
the
problem.
party pooper again?
Yes, go,
Oh,
man.
I just like.
You should get your shirt. You should get your shirt called the party pooper
No,
or the
no,
party pooper.
Pooper.
In these modern times, comments like that do not fly well. They're out there for public criticism, and in this current climate, I don't think it's wise for him to be making those type of comments.
Instead of
Let alone,
COVID
I mean, but the comment's derogatory to a specific race, and I'm against that. Yes, I'm against that. That's people have been fighting for many years. People have been fighting for many years about equality and getting treated with respect, and I just think comments like that set the positive movement forward.
Are we going CLM now?
What's CLM?
CLM?
I'm missing out. Sorry, like I
don't know.
It's Black Lives Matter with a C in front of it.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about the.
Yes, strong. You got me on that one.
No, I understand. I understand the comment, but I just think that for me the downplay is not the it's about the race intended
Yeah.
comment.
Yeah, definitely.
And also
Okay.
gender intended.
Yeah.
Yep. Anyway,
Yep, each to their own, but I guess, yeah, someone's an adult in the room. Thank you, D-Swizzle, for being the adult.
well,
Thanks for growing up.
Once in a while, I turn up.
Thanks for growing up.
I have one more topic that I wanted to say. It's not a subject per se, but if you were Kawhi and you're out of the playoffs, I'll continue after you say swish,
Yeah.
book a swish.
Yeah, I'll switch this. Let's talk.
I'll switch it.
I'll see you switch it. So you think about Kawhi, right? He could have stayed in Toronto, probably had a chance to make the finals, maybe win another second title, right?
Mhm.
Or he could have chose the Lakers, and then he could have formed the super team. If you were Kawhi, let's start with D-Swizzle, would you be regretting your decision to play for the Clippers?
Two fronts, no,
No.
because he went home, and he got paid a bucket load of money to play at home in front of his family. So, no. And it's not like he didn't have a say in where he was going or who his running mates would be. So he had a big say in it, and he thinks he's in a position to challenge, and rightly so. I think they'll do better next season. So I don't think he'll regret it. He regrets the decision this year. Different story if it comes next year and they fall short again and he's got a player option.
Yeah.
RJ?
Yeah.
The thoughts, RJ?
I would have gone home. I would have said, man, I regret recruiting Pandemic P. That's what I would have said.
For everyone out there, that not up to date with the names, maybe D-Swizzle, Pandemic P is Paul George. So
No, I got that
He's
one.
playing for the COVID Cup.
Because, hey, man, we got this guy, but if you looked at his stats for the last couple of seasons in the playoffs, man, he threw that many bricks, he could have built a church already. My gosh, man, the guy. So if I saw those stats, I would have been like, oh, I don't know if I should recruit this guy. I need a running mate. I don't need some guy he disappears in the middle of a playoff run. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's what I would have said.
yeah, RJ, I was quite surprised that he picked Paul George. There's highlight footage of Kawhi being guarded by Paul George, and Kawhi's posting him up and laughing. So when I saw that clip, he was like, the intention was you can't guard me, but then he ended up being his teammate. So,
Well, look, it appears that Paul George can't guard anybody, so not just Kawhi. So there you go. I would have been really disappointed. I'd be like, man, I need my nurse.
Oh no.
all right, Coach Lloyd. I'll skip that one, Coach Lloyd.
Yeah, I need a nurse too. Good call. Hey, RJ got the best call of the day.
Sorry, man.
If no one got that, then that's your, I mean,
Shout out to Doc Rivers.
Yeah.
No offense. Please do not take us to court.
Yeah. Look, Pandemic P, playing for the COVID Cup. He needs to get better, mate. He was Indiana. He got well. I don't really want to say much about the Clippers because I think they're going to Cancun, according to Lillard. Are they going to Cancun? They're all going together, right?
Let's talk about that next. Let's talk about the next. Hold on to that one.
Are they all going? I thought they were all going together. I thought that's where they were not. Is that right?
Yep. Coach, back to Kawhi. Would you be happy to be a Clip?
Yeah, look, you can always fill pieces that they need. They had Reggie Jackson and stuff like that come in. I wouldn't have Reggie Jackson as part of the group. He sort of filled the void in the bubble when they were Pat Bev-Less and guys like that. Landry Shamet, he might need to be shopped. But the Clippers will always get better. I don't know if Doc Rivers is the guy for them.
Oh,
As how many? What is it? I think it was 8 series leads that he's blown in the playoffs.
And
out there.
3-1 lead starts. Yeah.
3-1 leads, 3-0, 2-0, 2-1, 2-1, and was it 2-1 as well?
Yeah.
Not putting him out there specifically, but he doesn't seem to attract the best at the moment, unless he's got Garnett or Paul Pierce and Ray Allen.
Yeah, he doesn't adjust. He doesn't adjust on the fly well, you know, and he plays his dogs. So he plays his players into the ground. Like you see with the Lakers and I guess Phil Jackson and good coaches, they try a lot of things. They put on the 10th guy, the 15th guy, just to shake it up a bit. With Doc, I don't see that. I didn't see that this year.
Yeah, there's no adjustment. I stayed in the same thing. I might have started Herro at some stage with Jokic because he seemed to get off in the first quarter. He was hitting threes, hitting everything that he had, and then they made the sub. But by that time, he was too late. He's too hot. The Lakers seem to do a good job with Jokic at the moment, just with size and length. I mean, Howard comes in the second quarter and does what he has to do, but he's already got AD and JaVale McGee with him, just messing him around. The Clippers will they'll have to grow because they're still number 2 in LA.
Sure. Okay, let's move on to, I guess, the last subject. We mentioned it just briefly. So there was beef between Dame, Patrick Beverley, and Pandemic P, or Paul George. So there was a moment. Dame has pretty much sent all these guys home in the last couple of years with these famous waves. So when the Clippers got knocked out, there was a Twitter war. Just talking about that they should vacate together. So the question I had to you guys, Brooke or Swish, is do you want to talk about it a bit more? Same time, everyone?
Swish.
Rick.
All right.
All right.
So that's it. We'll wrap it up there.
It's done.
We'll wrap it up.
It's done.
We'll wrap it up there. Thanks, gents, for making this another fun episode of the Shooters Roll. To all our listeners out there, big shout out to you guys for your continual support through our passion project. We really do appreciate you listening in to our podcast and viewing our material on YouTube. Lots more material coming up as the finals series heats up on both conferences and into the main round, the championship round of the NBA Finals, which will be coming up shortly. We'll keep you posted and keep our opinions in full effect and on display coming up on these coming episodes. So give us a follow, give us a shout out, give us a like on our channels, and keep shooting out there.
Hey,
Shout out
guys,
to everyone. Shout out to everyone. This is the first time that we've all been together. This is
All
the
together.
squad.
Yep.
This is the members. So everything you see on social media is done by everyone in this room. So shout out, boys. Thanks.
The family, the Shooters Roll family.